everyone. Today we're going to sketch the parent graph of quadratic function. By the way, the word parent graph is the graph that we're going to be able to draw over here later on when we fill this table in. We also have a parent equation. Parent equation is this. So parent graph is the graph that we draw. Parent equation is this one. So the one that we are talking about here is quadratic function, because there's still a lot of family of function that we're going to be taking up in the next section. But for this video, we will have the parent graph of quadratic, and this is the parent equation of quadratic. This is called the parent graph because later on in the section, we are going to translate whatever the shape of the parent graph is. It's either we move the graph up, down, left, or right. And then the parent equation can be changed into general. It can have a vertex form where it would ask us to move the graph up, down, left, or right from the parent graph. Okay, so we are going to draw the simplest graph or the parent graph of quadratic function. So I will give you a trick on how to put values or how to use an equation that has a variable on it. Just a reminder, again, the trick is, in order that you don't get confused with the negatives, you change the letter into a parenthesis before you plug values into it. So let's take, for example, this one here. So if I have 4, so then I go ahead and change this. I want the y, so I change this parenthesis I change this letter into a parenthesis. So I go right squared in there, and then I put in the 4. So that's 4 squared is 16. So the reason why we need to do this, because when we have a negative, if we have double negatives, you can have trouble doing the math, because sometimes others are going to have trouble doing the math since there are double negatives and they don't know which one goes to which when they square it. So again, change the letter into a parenthesis. And after you've changed it, that's the time that you plug values in. So in here, I'm just gonna write the parentheses here before I plug the values in. So then I will put the parentheses here. Again, this represents the letter. And then let's do the 3 together here. So that's 3. So this should be 2. This is 1, negative. This is 0. This is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. So then if we square, the 3 squared would be 9, and then 2 squared would be 4, 1 would be 1, 0 would be 0. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try to look for the values for the rest of these. And if you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so this is not going to come out negative because that's how the parentheses work. So that means the negative was included with a 1. So negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. It's not a negative 1. So this is a negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. And then negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9, and then negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16. Did you get 1, 4, 9, and 16 as your answer? Good. Perfect. Now we are ready to sketch the graph of we sketch the parent graph of this parent equation of this quadratic function. So 4 and 16, so 4, and then we go to 16. Since it's off, it's only up to 10, so we don't have to draw we don't have to sketch the dot. But we have 3 and 9, so I go 3, then it goes to 9, so I put the dot there. And then we have 2 and 4, so 2 goes to 4, and then 1 would have to go to 1, and then 0 will go to 0, and then we have negative 1 would go to 1, and then negative 2 would go to 4. It's gonna be up here, and then negative 3 would go to 9, so it's gonna be up here, and we are ready to sketch the parent graph. So this is the parent graph of quadratic function, and we're gonna put an arrowhead at the end. That means it can go to infinity. So it's telling us it doesn't stop here, it's gonna go to infinity. So this is the parent graph of quadratic function. Now please remember that these are the other parts that should be taken care of. So I'm gonna draw a broken line here We're gonna call this as the axis of symmetry. That's axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry is a line where if we fold this quadratic, this graph, if we fold it, these two dots are gonna match up. So that is the axis of symmetry. And the equation for the axis of symmetry is x equals 0, and I also labeled also here the vertex. So this point of origin right here is the vertex of this parabola. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!